running back coach's decision to go almost strictly with DeMarco and not with Finch?
No, that's always running back, mine, Coach Wilson,
Why did you make that?
because it's DeMarco, his all-time leading touchdown scorer in Oklahoma history. And
But I think after the game, you said he was warm slick.
well, he is. So, hey, when it doesn't work, should have went with the other guy. If
You can't see that during the game.
I've got total confidence in DeMarco, and he is more than capable of handling the ball 30, 35 times a game. So I've got no problem with it.
But you haven't lost
He had
confidence.
scored I don't know how many touchdowns he scored down on the goal line, a ton. Got
Do you rethink that, using Finch a little more now? Because it didn't.
well the week before we did, and so sure he's gonna have opportunities, definitely. But I'd never have a problem with DeMarco on the field.
When he's worn out, like you admitted he was after the game.
Well, he wasn't worn out in the first or second time. It was the third quarter. I mean, you're asking, here down. Well, no, I don't buy that. All right, you guys can do it all you want. I'll go with DeMarco anytime.
What do you do throughout the season? What do you think is better about them now than maybe earlier in the season when they were struggling?
A little everything, really. Their, defense, played really well. And they're offensively, they're, very similar to other teams. As you see a lot of, Tech's offense from a year ago, and they're executing it well. So I think just every part of the game you could see there, as the year's gone on, their improved play.
How do you think Coach Tuberville has helped them in some improvements he's made now that they're getting used to his system or his style?
It's hard, for me to say not being there, and that'd be for me comparing one guy to another. Tommy has a great reputation, and I've always had great respect for him as a man and as a coach. And times I've been around him, and he's got a great experience and great track record.
Well, talk about Jamel Fleming, one of the new first-time starters early in the season. Utah State gave him a couple blitzes, but since then, he's among the national leaders in some passes defended. Just his growth and what that does to allow you to blitz, just what he.
Jamel Fleming
yeah.
has been very good. He's been very consistent. Like you said, he's got a million deflected balls, and he's got a bunch of interceptions, and it's been exciting to see him, through the year, how the confidence has grown and how strong he's playing.
Bob, does the problem on defense start with stopping the run? Because I don't know if these numbers are correct, but I think 176 and 130 you've given up the last two games. Is that
Definitely.
where it begins? And what's the answer?
Well, some of it's technique, and like I said, we had some issues there on some bend back plays where we should be in position to make them, and then there were a few occasions, as I said, that we were, some of it's mental mistakes, and that if you're lining up in the wrong position, you give them a major advantage.
Do you look at doing anything because of your struggles in the red zone? Like you've run some wildcat in the past. Some teams go to the quarterback is a better runner to give him another option there at the goal line. Do you look at things like that?
Oh, sure. We'll look at, multiple options, different, things meaning other opportunities or other ways of doing things. But, but until this game, I think overall our red zone has been pretty decent, really.
One of your seniors last night, Bob, said that when asked about the road problems, said that what's going on mentally is that he and other upperclassmen aren't carrying enough of the load and setting enough of an example for all your young guys. Are you sensing the same thing?
Not really.
Is that something you can quantify, put your finger on and notice? Or is that something that's beyond your realm of?
Well, again, I notice them, coming to meetings, how they conduct themselves getting on the plane, and I see guys that are very similar to a bunch of teams we've had. So I think a little bit of it gets down to just your overall strength and power. I was looking at that. I guess because I wondered. I asked Kenny Mossman what was our conference road record in 6, 7, and 8. We were 12 and 4. We do things about the same. So right now, some teams are different. Some teams are stronger than others, or able to overcome, some of the mistakes we made the other night. Other teams aren't.
Let me ask you about, a lot of people said about Cameron Newton. You recruited Cameron Newton, he visited here. Did you see anything irregular?
Nothing at all. No.
So did it surprise you when you read about the stuff, the charges at Mississippi State?
I don't know that anything surprises me. And I'm not, again, our recruitment at Cam could not have been better or, was just fine. So I'm just, again, I guess you never know anymore, what's where. So I guess, yeah, it did, because I didn't notice anything and none of our coaches did, as we were recruiting them.
Bob, on the goal line, the third time, regardless of what had happened earlier, you're down 2 touchdowns, 2 minutes left. What is the mindset of running the ball there?
Just because you feel you're going to get it in that one play and you're not going to have to do it again, That's what it is.
In retrospect, and this is not second guessing, isn't it? And that's a mistake, isn't it? I mean, you have to throw in that regard on the off chance you don't get in. Because, I mean, to win the game, you got to score and
Well,
get
again,
the ball back. And
yeah,
time's your enemy.
Well, again, you feel strongly that you're gonna get in, which is obviously, now that it didn't happen, was a mistake. But I don't look at it that way. When you're on the 1 yard line, you feel strongly that you're going to score. And we don't take long to score. I mean, we've gone down and scored in a minute multiple times. I mean, with our offense, we just talked about it. We scored how many points in the span of I don't know what in the third quarter.
What do you remember about the
And especially in college ball when the clock stops for first downs.
what do you remember about the 08 Tech game? Memories and all that about that game.
I mean, what do you want to know? We played a great game.
What about stands out? Like Travis Lewis last night said that it's one of those games that he looks about his favorite of his career. One of those that when he talks to his kids, he says that'll be one they will be proud to tell him about.
Yeah, it's Travis. So, me, it was a good win. It put us in a position to go chase another championship. And it's a game we had to have. I don't know, what were they, ranked 1 or 2, whatever it was. And so it was a big, exciting game that we really had to have, and our guys played well.
Is it comforting to reach Texas Tech week and not have to deal with what Leach might spring on you?
Not really, because I see a lot of the same offenses still out there, a lot of the same plays, and yeah, I guess not looking for the swinging gate as much, but
Coach, speaking of same plays, the fans out there ask questions that sometimes maybe we should throw out because they're smarter than we are. Some of the questions are about the playbook, wondering if there should be or is more deception in there. Is there any misdirection? Or is it bigger than what we see?
No, we go into games like, we have what we have, and we're always adding to it. If you notice from week to week, we always have new plays, different plays, and always will. So we're always manipulating or adjusting something to change it a little bit or to add plays, and we've always done that.
You didn't go back, I don't think, again, to the play where Landry overthrew Stills, right?
Yeah, we did.
You did go back to it?
Yeah,
Throw it?
a couple of times. It was covered. One might have been underthrown, another was, I think he had to throw one away maybe, so.
But that's the benefit of the bubble screen.
Hey, you just don't notice it when he isn't 30 yards behind everybody, so.
When do you decide who kicks this week? Did you ever think of having before the game, whoever kicks best?
I'm always watching them before the game, and so I'm judging that. But let's face it, Patrick hit a really good one. Why wouldn't I go with them for the one that's 10 yards closer?
What about this week?
We'll see how it goes. But my plan initially, as long as all things are the same, that the shorter ones Jimmy will take and the longer ones Patrick will.
Is Patrick a lot more comfortable on longer ones? Does it feel like it?
I don't know.